Hi everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. So I'm joined with Colton. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, hey everyone, welcome back to the Kryptonite channel.
So today we're going to look at where Bitcoin might be going. So let me share my screen. So there is a new hope where we're going with, we're looking at the halving, which is when the reduction happens every 4 years. It's a cycle. Every 4 years it goes down. The rewards of the miners are cut in half. And that's usually after the halving that we have a boost in the price. But it takes some time. So let's analyze exactly what that means for us in this current cycle. So the first cycle, the halving happened on 2009. It took 887 days, taking us to June 8th, 2011 to reach all-time high. In the second cycle, the halving happened in November 28th, 2012, and the all-time high was 367 days later. It was on November 29th, 2013. And then we have the cycle number 2, where the halving happened on July 9th, 2016. It took 527 days, and that took us to December 17, 2017. Now, in the current cycle, the halving happened on May 11th, 2020. It's ongoing, but so far we reached a all-time high of 69,000. Let's call it 69,000. So the thing is, those days are important. 887 days, 367, 527. Most likely will be reducing. So we're probably going to be along the lines of about 300 days. Now, if we take 300 days and we know that the all-time high was November 10th, 2021, we can consider that we're probably going to be along the lines of about, 300 days or something like that. Yeah. So it'll probably be like along the lines of September, October. And it would make sense because first of all, you have US elections. So the Fed might be reversing its course. Now they are increasing the rates to try to battle inflation. But at some point, they know that if they do too much of that, that's going to hurt the economy. And at some point as well, they also have to battle another problem, which is the fact that they have to print more money. I mean, they're going to have to buy some of those junk bonds, some of those government bonds and all that kind of stuff. And so they're going to have to start printing money again. Mm-hmm. So they're really between a rock and a hard place, because on one side, they have to battle the inflation, but on the other, if they raise the interest rates too much and they don't buy back anything, it's going to hurt them as well. So The cool thing is it's probably not going to last too long. It's going to last a few more months. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're at the end of May, early June. So it's going to be a few more months. And price-wise, this is most likely what's going to happen. If we look at the chart of 2013, so we went from November 13th all the way to about January 2015 to reach pretty much the all-time low. Mm-hmm. So it took about a year. Here, the last one, we reached the peak on December 17th, and then it took us all the way to December 18, so just slightly under a year later, given a week, 51 weeks later, we reached the all-time low. And then we stayed there a little bit, as we can see, and eventually we went back up, and then we resumed, the next cycle, the cycle we're currently in. And it was the same here in 2013. You see, once we reached the all-time low, then we were there, for a little bit, right around those months. So it took a little bit of time. But the thing that we see that happen every time is, you see, we go all-time low, we drop a lot. Everybody's like, oh my God, this is over. Then it goes back up a little bit, and then it goes further down. And if we look at this one here, It went all the way down, and then a little bit of relief, and then down again, a little bit of relief, and then a little bit of relief, and then down, and then suddenly there's a big cliff.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at where we are at today, this is where we're at today. In November 2021, we reached the all-time high. Then we drop a lot, then a little bit of relief, then drop again, and then a little relief, and then drop, and then big drop again. The thing is, we're probably due to have a little rally, because here we've had a major drop that lasted 9 weeks, which was very long. So it's going to be like kind of a technical rebound. And we're seeing a little rebound right now at 31,754. We may see it go up to 33, 34, 35, but most likely that will be it. And then we'll probably go further down. And usually what we tend to do is go to what's called the 200 moving average line. Now, currently the 200 moving average line is at $22,000. And at $22,000, we're probably going to come and touch that line, and we're probably going to go under that line. We did it in previous cycles. So the 200-day moving average is sitting at 22K, and usually what happens is we go down, we touch it, and most of the time we break it. At the last 3 times, we broke it twice. Now, sometimes we break it by 10, 15%. Sometimes we broke by 30%. If we break by 10%, that's roughly going to take us down to 20,000 per Bitcoin. And then the lowest, minus 30%, that would take us down to 15.5. So probably the sweet spot is going to be right in there. So most likely, as soon as we go below 20K, that's time to load up, on either Bitcoin or alts, whichever you prefer. Some people are really big on like, no, you got to buy only Bitcoin. The thing is, Ethereum does much better, in bear markets than Bitcoin as far as recovery, meaning that if you buy towards the bottom of the bear market, it will come way back up. The Bitcoin won't come back as much. Last time, the Bitcoin came back about roughly 3x. In the meantime, Ethereum did 9x in the same time frame. So we're 700 days from the Bitcoin halving. So that's going to happen in 2024. Right now it's supposed to be a little less than 2 years from now. So with the current situation, it's not just Bitcoin here at play. It's also macroeconomics. It's geopolitical issues like the war or the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. So there's multiple things at play. We haven't tamed the inflation just yet. It started going down. Looks like it's just finished peaking. But the technical rebound we're going to see right now, most likely it's just a technical rebound. It could be a bull trap. So be very, very careful. And if you have no money, then just hodl and wait for November. Things should start looking up and get much better by then. But if you have money on the side and you took some profit, whenever we reach some all-time highs or took some profit recently before some of the bigger drops we've seen recently, then save that money, keep it to the side, because probably by August, September, we're probably going to see the price go all the way down to about 20K. So even 22K, could be a good time to buy, but there might be even a better time if we go below 20K. Now, there's going to be a lot of resistance at 20K, 19.5, 20K. There's going to be a big battle because it's a very key number for Bitcoin to defend. But the good news is it's a great opportunity if you have cash to buy more. And most likely after that, we're going to go sideways for a little bit around the 20K. We're going to see the same that we've seen for several weeks now, where we see Bitcoin hovering around 29, 30K. We're probably going to see Bitcoin hovering around 20, 19K. and then we'll start going back up. And it'll take some time, and it's not going to happen overnight. We're not going to reach a new all-time high, the next day or the next week. But it'll be pretty much as close as we can be to the bottom. And it's always very hard to time the market. But that's where personally I'm going to load up, and buy a lot more coins. And then we're going to see slowly rise, and probably a year, 2 years after that, we're going to see new all-time highs, probably 100, 120K, maybe beyond that. Who knows? There's so many things now at play with VCs entering the market, with retirement funds, with so many banks getting interested in. It is not the same retail market that it was years ago. So things have changed. Now, some people say we may drop all the way down to 10,000 or 12,000. Anything is possible, but it's unlikely for one main reason. First of all, the recession won't last super long. Second of all, those banks, those retirement funds, they want to invest in crypto. So they're going to have to buy large amounts of it. And at 19K, they're going to be like, man, I don't think this is going to drop much further than that. The pain has been already pretty severe from all the way down from 69K down to 19. So this is the most likely scenario that's going to play out. I'm not saying that, I have a crystal ball and I know everything, but this is most likely the most potential scenario that's going to play out given everything else. Now, of course, there might be some changes coming up, if things get worse as far as conflicts, if China starts fighting with Taiwan and the US gets in the middle of it, or some other bad events, we could see further drops. But right now, this is what the situation looks like. And the good news is if you hodl, just wait. Don't panic. If it's at 19, don't sell. Just hodl and you'll be fine. Several months later, things will start coming back up and everything would be good. And if you have dry powder on the side and you can invest some money, this would probably be an awesome opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you, Boris.
Any questions, any feedback, Colton?
In terms of, questions, I do not have any today. But, I'll be honest, I've had some FOMO talking to friends, family, recently. So, it's good to have this conversation to really alleviate that. You get some people in your ear talking about, you should sell, this is not going to be anything. And then you got Boris here, who convinces you, that this is a long-term play. So, do your research, talk to multiple people and don't have FOMO right now. Everything is horrible right now in terms of
it's more FUD in this case. FOMO is more when things are going up and you're afraid that you're going to miss out. Here, it's more FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What if it goes to zero?
Yeah. And then, I have friends who are, buying right now, because it's a great time to buy. So, I'm also thinking, am I missing out on this opportunity? And then, you talk to Boris here, there's a good possibility it goes lower. So, you just never know right now. And it's the same with everything in the economy right now. It's all a big question. So, don't get too nervous. Do your research. And like Boris said, if you don't have any money, just huddle to the side because your time will come. So, yeah, definitely.
And it's tough. Patience is always tough. People want to buy today. They want to sell today, and it's not easy being patient. But if you're patient, you'll be rewarded because we'll see lower prices. I'm pretty much convinced of that at this point. We're going to see lower prices. So those who rush in to buy right now, it's still a great price. I mean, if you buy at 31,000 and it goes to 150 at some point in a few years, you'll still be making out a ton of money, But the advantage is with the same amount of dollars, you could buy a lot more coins if it drops all the way down to 19 versus buying at 31. So with the same amount of money, you'll get a lot more coins, which is going to, of course, demultiply your gains. So that's why I would say wait, don't fire your shots too early. You want to fire those shots too early, and it will come. It's the thing is, I was impatient. A few years ago in 17, I started buying in 18. I bought at $11,000 some of the coins. I'm like, man, it's already dropped almost half. And later on in 2019, I bought some more at 3,400, I believe, something like that. And I was like, oh man, I wish I had not bought so early in 18, because 11 versus 3,500, man, I could have bought 3 times the amount of coins I bought with the same amount of money. So you don't want to go too low. You don't want to say at 19, oh, let me wait for 10, let me wait for 5, because that may never come, But here, it would make sense that we're going to see one last big drop, and then we'll go sideways, and then we'll probably come back up. So take your time. It's patience, and also be patient. It's going to take a few years for you to get rich, so to speak, meaning that if you get those coins at a great price, don't expect 19 to jump to 150 in 3 weeks. It's not going to happen. It will happen over 1, 2, 3 years, and it's still a gigantic return. You will never see anything like this on the stock market. But and don't get fears of selling. I've seen it so many times. I mean, can you imagine? I lived through the previous market, and I remember people that bought at 20K, and then they're like, oh my God, it's at 3,500. This is it. It's over. And they sold, and they lost a fortune. And of course, later on, they majorly regretted it. So
definitely.
So have some patience, but hopefully it shouldn't be too long, before we pretty much find the bottom. That's it for today. Thank you, Colton. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to see you on the next episode of Kryptonite. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.